I see a lot of hate on Twitter, Instagram, all over the place for Final Fantasy XVI, with a lot of people just downright 100% trashing the game. It does make me wonder if they actually played it. Because, now, just to get this out of the way to start with, I am not in any way saying if you do not like Final Fantasy XVI, you are wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you don't like Final Fantasy XVI, just say it's not for you. Just say you tried it and it's not for you, because it's not a bad game at all in the slightest. It's got some of the best boss battles that I've ever played in any game. It's got phenomenal graphics, it's got a great story, a great protagonist, the game is a great length, the stakes are high, there's relationships formed between people, the combat is absolutely phenomenal. It's the best action RPG combat out there for me personally. Think Devil May Cry on steroids in an RPG, and there you go. There's plenty of side quests to do. No, not all of them are fantastic, absolutely not, but they involve you more in the world. There's monster hunts that you can do, there's different weapons and stuff that you can craft to up your stats, etc, etc. You can unlock stuff via skill trees. Final Fantasy XVI is badass and has DLC, which I'm really excited about. I haven't tried out the DLC yet. I'm waiting for both of them to come out and then I'll pile into it. And then I was pleasantly surprised to see that the DLC was sensibly priced as well. That's pretty cool. But one thing that really bothers me is when people just outright trash a game and say, oh no, it's hot trash, it's crap. When, if you personally don't like the game, just say it's not for you. Like me, for example, with Suicide Squad, it's not for me. But I haven't made any videos trashing it. I've made some offhanded comments for laughs, of course, like saying it's going to fail hard and stuff, but that's just my opinion. It's in no way meaning that it's incredibly terrible. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it, and that's absolutely fine. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong whatsoever with just not liking something. You don't have to be involved in every single new game that's released. I'm a Final Fantasy fan, and I've played all the Final Fantasies, and some of them are different. This is not the first Final Fantasy to be different, and we're fast approaching a year of... Obviously, we've got a few more months to go, but we're fast approaching a year of Final Fantasy XVI being released, and Final Fantasy XVI was one of the main reasons why I got a PS5, and I'm glad I did, because I had a great time playing through it. It took me about 20 or so hours to get through it, and I had a whale of a time from beginning to end. I was a bit trepidatious, because I did think at the beginning of the game, I thought, oh, this is pretty linear, I'm just going from... going in this direction. It's not as linear as Final Fantasy 13 or Final Fantasy 10, but it does have some linearity. But it's a gorgeous setting, that's for sure. But then when it started to open up and the story beats started happening, I thought, oh, actually no, this is pretty badass. And then by the end of the game, I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. Being able to turn into Ifrit and kick the crap out of all the other icons was really, really cool. And I honestly don't know how people could hate it to the extent of that they completely 100% trash it. But Final Fantasy XVI is without a doubt one of the best Final Fantasies I've played in a long time. Still not better than the original Final Fantasy VII for me, but that's nostalgia and my personal preference. But for someone to just outright trash a game is just, I don't know, immature maybe to a point. You don't have to like every game. You don't have to like the games I like. That's not the way the world works. The people say the same thing about The Last of Us Part 2. They go, oh, it's a trash game. It's really not. As a game, it's fantastic. You can not like it, and it can be not for you, and that's all you have to say is, I tried it, not for me. Or just, you can look at it and go, yeah, I've had a look at it, it's not for me. And that's like with Suicide Squad. Maybe when it's less than a tenner here in the UK, I might try it when the single player mode is, like the offline mode is released. I don't have the time to play too many of those online games. I'm playing a lot of the Division 2 at the moment, and some Anthem, and Final Fantasy 14, and I play a little bit of PUBG here and there with friends. So I'm pretty much stacked with that. But I'm also trying to watch a lot more films at the moment, so I can get more film reviews out. And I'm trying to, I'm just trying to just balance it all out, really, because I can't do everything. I don't have a time machine. But one thing I pretty much don't do, and you'll probably notice from my channel, is I very, very rarely make a video on something I don't like. I've made a couple of videos on games I don't like just to say, well, no, I don't like these, but I'm not one to jump on hate bandwagons and start trashing everything. because it's just not for me. I'm not going to try and rinse a video out of it. It's not for me, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with just admitting and saying, yeah, it's not for me. You don't like, for example, sports and football. I don't like sports and football at all. It's not for me. But I don't make videos on trashing FIFA games. You know, I don't buy FIFA games. I've never bought a FIFA game, and I am never going to buy one because it's not for me. But anyway, you get the point. Please let me know in the comments down below what you think. Are you the same as me? Do you just think people just need to say, yeah, it's not for me? Or are you one of those that absolutely hate on everything? And I hope you're not. But as always, thank you very much for watching.
You're finished.